I think it's safe to expect a dominating performance by Auburn this Saturday.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Ben Taylor of Auburn Opelika this morning, the man over at the Auburn Network family of stations, hanging out with us for this bonus edition of the show. Ben, we'll talk about one of the things from the Auburn game that has gone viral that I haven't talked about yet, wearing multiple watches. What's up with that? That's craziness.
I know.
I love it. We'll get more to that in a second. But what should we expect this weekend, Ben? I think this is going to be a game that is close for exactly 0 seconds. I mean, this Ball State, with what they did against Purdue or didn't do against Purdue, is a I talked to Nick Arvin, our new Locked On Boilermakers host. They played Purdue last week, and I'm like, what can you tell me about what you saw from Ball State? He's like, dude, they've got a quarterback that wasn't playing quarterback a year ago. They have no threat of a passing game. The talent's not there. It's a new system, and they're trying to establish the run, but they can't do it because they can't set it up via the pass. It's brutal. It's bad. And it's like, if that's what you're going to do against Purdue, I think Auburn's front seven, we can say what we want about the DBs and their performance against Baylor. I think it's fine. But Auburn's front seven is going to dominate Ball State on Saturday.
Completely agree because, I was not happy with the DBs on Saturday, but I was very happy with the run defense and what they did against Baylor on Saturday. So if they go into it knowing this team is going to do nothing but run the football because they can't throw it, then they got to be licking their chops. Our defensive line does, and even our linebackers, of what they'll be able to do, because I really thought Baylor had a better running game. I mean, than what they had. And I don't know, is that a discredit to Baylor? Or is that a credit to Auburn for what took place on Saturday? Because when they tried to run the football, they couldn't. They just could not do it. And so if you got a Ball State team that seems depleted, like you just said, since they're having some turnover, our defensive line has got to be just really giddy about padding some stats in the first quarter and a half before they get pulled and the second and third string get to play in the second half. Now, with that said, we know what Auburn's reputation is about not winning games that they should win by the amount or margin that they should win.
Yeah.
I really would like to see, I hate to bring back old memories, but what Auburn did in the first game last year, where we thought that they were going to be all-stars all year, I would like to see that sort of performance Saturday and the next two Saturdays. I honestly would like to see it against Ball State as well as South Alabama the next couple of weekends.
Yeah, like, let's don't play down to the level of competition. Let's play at our level as far as what we're capable of doing. I'm assuming they're going to throw it more. Ben, I mean, that was a big talking point going into the ULM game last year was, okay, we know we can run the ball with Jarquez Hunter. Like, this is actually a time to throw it, see if we can kind of get some momentum going and get these receivers, make sure they're happy, and also see if these receivers are what we think that they are. And they were. I mean, Cam Coleman was exceptional in that game. I think you're going to see a similar thing. Auburn knows they can run the football. They've got the guys up front. I mean, I don't think Baylor's defense is elite by any stretch of the imagination, but the dominance that you had up front makes me comfortable with you kind of saying, okay, yes, Auburn's going to be able to run the football against a lot of these teams that are on their schedule. Let's get Jackson comfortable now because he's clearly comfortable running the football. I don't want him getting hit 15 times in this game.
Nope.
I don't want him getting hit 15 times against South Alabama next week. Let's try to limit him because he's going to have a physical game when he goes to Norman, returns home and goes to Norman, as well as the following week when they go to College Station. So let's keep our guys healthy. Let's attack through the air. I think it kind of kills two birds with one stone there.
I want to see a lot of Omar Mapson this Saturday and next Saturday. And,
I mean, especially with Damari being questionable, like with his shoulder. Like, why would you play Damari for more than a drive? I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, I think Damari, I'm okay. Zach, I don't know if I'm okay with starting Cobb and not even letting Damari see the field if he's going to be that banged up as far as and I don't know that he's that banged up. I think if we're playing Oklahoma this Saturday, Damari goes. I think it's just one of those things they were talking about, don't re-injure it, don't get him hurt before conference play. So I'm okay with them not playing him. I'm okay with seeing Cobb and seeing, Omar out there, especially with them talking about in practice leading up to the season, how comfortable they are with Mapson back there in the backfield. I'm okay with giving him that shot these next couple of weekends and let Damari be. Because Damari, to me, I think he had a great game on Saturday. He did not put the ball on the ground, which I was happy to see. Matter of fact, he seemed overprotective of it. Seemed even when he got in crowds as far as covering the ball up. But number two, yards after contact. I mean, Auburn had 150 some odd yards after contact. Running the football on Saturday against, in my opinion, a fairly decent Baylor defense. So I like that. So if he's going to run that hard and he's going to have that contact and get those yards, I say sit him. I mean, I'm sure they'll dress him, but I still say sit him as much as possible this weekend and see what the other guys can do.
Yeah, if you want to give him the first drive to, let him just go through the game day rep of being the starter, I'm okay with that. But even with Cobb, let Cobb score a touchdown or let him get a few touches, and then I just don't think that's it. The running game was awesome. I don't think anybody's going to push back on that. Our pass protection from our running backs was not awesome.
Nope.
And so I would like to see either game reps go to those guys, which would probably be more likely Cobb, which I don't think would be his strength as a player. I think that would be more of a Damari thing. But I would like to see Darrell Robinson and Omar Mabson pass protect from the running back spot, because that was something that the Auburn backs were not good at against Baylor.
Okay, so if you go back and you look at tape, were they not good because of missed assignments, or were they not good because I noticed there were a couple of times where they either chipped a guy, which caused them to miss somebody else, or they helped an O lineman out with like a double team and they missed another guy coming through. So I don't know if they weren't good because of, like, sometimes you got backs that are good because they just don't want to block. Like that's part of the problem. I don't think that was the problem as much as some missed assignments by our backs on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Cobb allowed a sack. He allowed 2 pressures. And then, Damari got a low rating from PFF, but I don't think he allowed a pressure, which I don't know if I believe that. But I think Cobb does not have the frame to do that consistently. I mean, if there's a 250-pound linebacker running towards you and Cobb is in your way, like, that is not his strength. His strength is making people miss, not getting in people's way. Damari, I think, is going to be a little bit better. But the thing is, like, Jeremiah Cobb, when he was in, he was asked to pass block 40% of his snaps. That's a lot.
Ooh, that's a
lot.
Yeah.
And so if that's what you're going to do, you need to get reps or figure out ways to make him a little bit more comfortable. And so,
well, you don't want to.
That's something I'm looking at.
Well, and you don't want to get to the point where every time Robertson's in the game, they're just going to use him to pass.
100%.
Because then everybody's going to know what's coming. So you got to share the load. So the other guys are going to have to pick it up and be better, because you don't want to become a readable offense where every time he comes in, they're like, oh, we know they're going in the air this time.
Right.
And you can't just fool him by giving it to him every blue moon. Like, you're going to have to be consistent. So, Cobb's got to pick it up. And again, that's another reason that I don't mind sitting Damari. I know I want him to be a little bit better, especially you talked about that rating right there with PFF, which is kind of odd that if he didn't allow a pressure and he didn't allow a sack, I don't want to say how he could be so low. But then again, I don't want him with a hurt shoulder having to square up against a 250-pound linebacker this weekend either. If the shoulders hurt, to work on his pass blocking. I don't know that needs to be and Zach, also with those guys being sidelined.
I misread this number just real quick. Jeremiah Cobb was asked to pass block on 40% of his passing snaps.
Okay.
He was in on 15 passing plays. He pass blocked on 6 of them. Damari was in on 12 pass blocking plays. He pass protected on just 2 of them. So I misread that number. Wanted to clear that up.
Okay. So, again, yes, we could shore that up a little bit. Plus, that would give Jackson a little bit more time, give the receivers a little more time to work their way open. But also, who knows what defense we're going to see, because you kept hearing it over the weekend, and I know you guys talked about it during the live as well. Those two high safeties. I mean, Baylor was just dead set on not getting beat deep. That's just wasn't going to happen. And I got a feeling that's not going to be the only team we see do that all year long. They're going to be like, okay, make them run the football, make them beat us on the ground.
Yeah, there's going to be some teams that believe in their front, and the right team is going to do that, and it's going to be a problem for us.
Yeah, yep, I completely agree. So as far as this weekend goes, I want to see a lot of running the football, open up the pass, but I also want to see us go down not that Ball State will mimic what Baylor does, but I got a sneaky suspicion there's going to be more opportunity for our wide receivers come this. After watching a little bit of that Purdue game, because it was on the Big Ten Network before our game was, so before or on Saturday at one point, so I just flipped over just to watch a little bit of it. I just don't see that they're going to play our offense the way Baylor played our offense. So there'll be some opportunity for some of our receivers to make some plays.
All right, Cam Coleman, some of the stuff he did going a little viral. I like it. I don't think Ben does. That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at The Game Cap. Did you have any of those, Ben? The old school vintage style Auburn hats? Yeah, they're so cool. So many listeners are like, oh, this is awesome. I've been wearing mine. They're downstairs. I wore it out, so I took it off when I got home last night. But the Game Cap, they're the vintage style caps, and there's two different designs. There's like the bar, then the circle. I like the circle one more, but they sent me one of both, which is super cool. But the crazy thing is like, all right, they're the hats that you wore in the 80s and 90s. But now if you go to thegamecaps.com and use code Locked On, it costs the same as it did in the 80s and 90s. $16.99 for a good looking hat like that.
Serious?
That is a bargain.
Yeah.
I've gotten so many, I think more screenshots from this partnership of people saying, hey, thank you for this. It's either them or Game Time, as far as just like folks that are saying, yes, thank you for this promo code. So check them out. Grab your team's classic bar or retro circle design and use code Locked On for an exclusive discount at thegamecaps.com. Speaking of, today's show is also brought to you by our friends at Game Time. You can get into like Auburn's home opener for like $20 all in over at Game Time when I was checking the prices last night. Go cheer on the Tigers. This is going to be one of the more rowdy home openers considering who it's against in a while. The energy is back, Ben Taylor.
Yes.
You can be there by going to Game Time.
Yep.
It's going to be electric. Use promo code Locked On College when you make your free account over at Game Time, and that code will get you $20 off your first purchase. Once again, code Locked On College for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Ben Taylor, you pointed this out to me last night. You're like, we got to talk about this when we record. And I'm like, please, because I haven't brought it up yet. Cam Coleman was wearing 2 watches during the game against Baylor. And there were some pictures that surfaced like during fall camp of, I don't know if it was like a team photo day or what, but I've seen like a lot of pictures from that same setting that they've posted on socials or whatever, where he's standing next to Eric Singleton and I think Horatio, and he's wearing 2 watches there too. I don't know if this is a deal, like an NIL deal for him, or if he just likes wearing watches. I don't know. They're also both on the same wrist, not one on each wrist, which I think would make a little bit more sense. No matter what arm you look at, you know what time it is.
You're trying to be practical on this. Don't do this, please.
Yeah, you're right. This clearly is not for. Yeah, this clearly isn't a practical decision. You're right. I like it because I saw a line somebody posted on Twitter. It's like, it's so Cam Coleman knows that it's his time, which I think is funny. A little watch time pun joke, or maybe that time is all on his side. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a style thing. I don't know. I like it, but I can't give you like a real definitive reason as to why I liked it so much.
I hate it.
I know you do.
I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I know.
And listen, I don't like even the guys that wear like the chains, because they were talking about how some player got his chain ripped off this. The Georgia State game. Georgia State, one of the DBs ripped a chain off an opposing player, and the coach sat him the entire game. Like, he didn't let him play because of that. And he shouldn't have ripped the chain off. But then again, I was like, well, the player shouldn't have been wearing a chain in the first place. They're playing a ball game. Like, he shouldn't have been wearing it.
I think it's okay if you accessorize as long as it doesn't hinder your play. I don't have a problem with
it. And I will say this, if it's an NIL deal, it sucks for the NIL people because I have no idea what brand of watch this is. I just know that he's wearing 2 watches and he's not looking at them. So he's not looking at the time. And you can clearly tell it's for either an accessory type deal or if it's an NIL deal or it's just a quote unquote, a look that he's going for. I'm not sure.
You're right. If it is an NIL deal, it's not good because not once have I seen anybody discuss the brand of it.
No,
I agree.
So I wouldn't know the brand, and maybe it's because I'm not a big watch guy. There are probably people that are going to jump in the chat after you post this. They're going to be like, "It's such and such." Okay, I don't know.
I don't know if that's the case, man. I looked for it. I looked for all these people tweeting about Cam Coleman's watch, and I thought there would be somebody in the replies of like, oh, that's a so-and-so or whatever. Because watch people are very particular. They're very loyal to different brands. And I know that's a whole world of collecting and all that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, I kept expecting somebody to hit us with the lowdown of what they were. And it never happened. So maybe somebody will in the comments.
I am shocked at the comments and the tweets and the social media posts of the people that are for it and people that are against it. I really thought that honestly, because I'm a old guy, I thought there would more people be against it. I was shocked at now, I totally get if it is an NIL deal, go get your money. Like, that's part of your deal. I mean, me being in the media business, we do endorsement stuff all the time. I'm totally fine with you doing that. If it is a fashion statement or this is to be, I don't know, to look like somebody. Because that's the thing. You want to go to the league. You know what you're not going to be able to do in the league? Wear those 2 watches on the field. Like, that's not going to – the shield is not going to let you do that. So I guess do it now because it's going away when you make it to the league. And Cam Coleman will make it to the league. So let's just say what it is. He's going. So that's another reason I don't like it is it's something but you're talking about the same guy that I hate when they wear like the different colored tennis shoes in basketball, unless it means something like breast cancer awareness.
Get off my lawn.
So clearly when
old man yells at clouds meme.
Oh yeah. You knew when I brought it up to you about the watches, you were like, I know it's not Vince thinking. Like, you knew right away.
Yeah. We'll disagree on this. We absolutely could talk about it. Sure.
So now, the only part that I agree is, as I said, if it's an NIL deal, get your money because that's probably a requirement that you wear it, and that so when pictures get shown, like the still photo that got shared everywhere of him lined up that had like his arms like this, and it showed the watch or showed both watches. I was like, oh well, and I still don't know what the brand is, but that was a great photo, and for the watch company, they got their money's worth for giving him an NIL deal for that. Hopefully,
I guess did they?
We should see.
No clue.
But if he's doing it for a personal statement, now I could do without it, man. I could, if it's just a fashion, it's like, you got somewhere to be? Like, what are we doing? Like, why is you got medication?
Yeah, he's got somewhere to be. Oh,
I mean, there's
I got to go to the end zone.
Oh, well, Zach, I mean, there's literally tons of.
Hold on. Time to move the chains, baby. Let's go.
We now have 2 scoreboards in Jordan Hare. You can look at both of those and see what time it is. He doesn't need a watch.
That's true. Maybe he's got to watch each scoreboard at Jordan Hare. Maybe that's the parallel. Ben Taylor, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
AUnetwork.com is where you can find me. We'd love to have you each and every morning just after 7 as we do sports. Just click on the WANI logo when you go to AUnetwork.com. We'd love to have you.
Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn. You only have one. You only have one watch.